Welcome back to the XRP Insider channel, everyone. Today's XRP episode is another one, as usual. Therefore, wherever you are in this vast world, I hope you are all enjoying your day. This is the one-day chart once more, and we will now discuss XRP. Right now, we have $2.85. Today, the market went green once more. Everyone was irritated over the weekend, saying things like, "This cycle is so over." There won't be an all-season period when you can withdraw your funds. We're back in the green today, and because everyone keeps saying we're halfway up this green candle, I want you to check out the all-time on XRP. It's what I see every chart person stating, not in my opinion. Looking at this, all I see is an election-related adjustment. Therefore, I believe we're still down here. That's all. After the election, that is. With all of that positive news, I believe the price of XRP has just corrected. I believe that the price of XRP still has a long way to go, and if you look at where we are after a year, you can see where we are now. Everyone is whining, saying things like, XRP never moves. When will it launch and hit all of these pricing points that everyone is discussing? You must recall that we were seated here at this time last year paying about 50 cents. You know, I believe that on this exact day last year, we were at 57 cents. Look at where we are right now. Whenever XRP enters a negative trend, the following step up usually follows. From here, let's hope that Bitcoin rises back above $110,000. Any retail investor holding Bitcoin should sell as soon as it reaches a value of $120,000. Since folks keep yelling out 150K and 250K, I honestly don't see it reaching these price points. It will probably cost between $130,000 and $150,000 in my opinion. That's probably going to be the peak for Bitcoin, but there's still a chance for it to rise further. People continue to count it out, and I believe this is due to the current manipulation of the Bitcoin market and price. That's what I observe happening. When they manipulate the price of Bitcoin, the other companies are also brought down. For XRP whales, Red September was canceled. Continue buying the dip aggressively. I believe that XRP has a very high probability of breaking the September curse. Though it's not just the whale behavior, I believe this coin is about to see a significant decrease. In addition to everyone positioning themselves ahead of the ETFs potentially going live in October, there will be a catalyst that causes XRP to break out. Who knows? Perhaps the SEC will expedite them and they will go live earlier than everyone anticipated. They might launch in September. At the stablecoin conference LATAM 2025, XRP made important announcements, and this comes from Bitso ODL RL USD, a Wrath of Common Ripple partner. With integrated FX for Latin America, including real-time USD, Bitso is growing into Chile and Peru. Use Bitso to make payments, instant settlements, and merchant cryptocurrency payments. It's great that more rails are being installed in Latin America, and these are ODL rails for XRP and RLUSD. I like merchant crypto payments. They set us up for mass adoption, because when you can spend your cryptocurrency at merchants, that's going to be it, because people will see it as having real value. VivoPower launches a $30 million XRP Treasury yield plan and strengthens its relationship with XRP. Now, in collaboration with Doppler Finance, this is what all individual investors ought to be doing. VivoPower has invested $30 million in yield-generating initiatives based on the XRP ledger. In order to create a compounding loop, earnings will be reinvested directly into reserves via XRP ledger yield services. This strategy not only takes advantage of XRP's speed and efficiency, but it also indicates that more and more businesses are experimenting with blockchain-native yield mechanisms. Their goal is to produce yield and then reinvest it. Put another way, if you're a retail investor and you receive passive income, you should always reinvest a portion of it. This will increase your passive income while also allowing you to continue building wealth, which is what will eventually result in generational wealth. It would have been fantastic to profit from our XRP in this manner, but we didn't have these alternatives back in 2022, the worst year in cryptocurrency. It would have been fantastic if we had just been accumulating our bags over the previous 3 years, but at the time, we were limited in our alternatives. As more institutions saturate this area in the upcoming months, the possibilities are now becoming more accessible. Retail investors will have even more options now. And this is a key one. Cross-border payments will be strengthened by the Ripple team and Thunes payments. Obtain the payment details. This is what they're doing. They're growing and using Ripple payments. With over 90 payout markets, the release expanded coverage to almost worldwide levels, accounting for over 90% of the daily foreign currency exchanges that process volumes over $70 billion. We are improving payment speed, accessibility, and compliance across regions by merging Ripple's digital asset infrastructure with Thunes' vast and reliable direct global network. This is significant because, once more, additional tracks are being installed and expanded, which also relates to cross-border payments. The consensus was, oh, Ripple abandoned cross-border payments. This proves that they didn't leave anything behind. This demonstrates in terms of the worldwide market, we are 90% there. I believe that the switch will be flipped once all of the rails are installed. Simply put, I don't think the system is finished yet. In order to take the US dollar, build a whole new financial system, and strengthen the US dollar, you want to make sure that it is available in every corridor, which is what Ripple is doing. As a result, there is still a lot of banking that needs to be done for the unbanked. Stellar has been doing the same thing, but it's wonderful to see even greater growth with the Ripple rails. The trains of XRP. Despite continuous declines, XRP closes 9 consecutive months above $2. As I mentioned at the start of this video, XRP is still doing very well. For some reason, people never zoom out to see the broad picture. They just see the daily chart. I promise you that when this cryptocurrency takes off, a lot of people will feel sorrow since they knew that XRP existed all along but chose not to invest in it because they were unable to swallow their pride like the Bitcoin maxis. It's not for me if it's not Bitcoin. Well, during this huge surge that will occur over the next few months, we will soon see XRP surpass Bitcoin, Ethereum, and practically every other cryptocurrency in this area. People will be saying things like, I wish I had taken my money and invested it in XRP. Experts are voicing new worries about market manipulation as a result of the finance's intentional dumping of XRP prices. First off, this is not being done by Binance, and CZ is no longer employed by Binance. They are influencing the price of Bitcoin, which is what is happening. Naturally, the rest of the market follows suit anytime they lower the price of Bitcoin. But what happens next? Bitcoin recovers, and the market as a whole does as well. But this trend won't last indefinitely. Utility-driven cryptocurrencies and XRP will eventually separate from Bitcoin. They will decouple from it, and I'm interested in seeing how XRP does in this scenario. Since the actual price of XRP cannot possibly be $2.80, I believe that is when we will see its true value. If XRP ETFs are allowed in October 2025, Elon Musk's AI forecasts the price of XRP for December. There are currently some issues with this pricing forecast. First, Grok is predicting $6 to $8, assuming market circumstances stay good and institutional inflows meet the higher projections. The market cap multiplier is something that Grok does not factor in. I believe we're going much higher now that that's factored in. Since Ethereum's 20x multiplier is currently the buzz of the town, you can be sure that the market cap multiplier will be the biggest game changer of this entire run. Since XRP's market cap multiplier is consistently between 200 and 400 times and occasionally much more, I believe that with all of these inflows from these ETFs, we're going to witness some insane price points. People are already readily forecasting $50 or more, which indicates that we will probably see a significant increase. If the market value of Bitcoin reaches $500 trillion, the price of XRP may rise to $637. These articles are awful. First of all, the market capitalization of Bitcoin will not reach $500 trillion. That's coming from Jack Mallers, who is constantly talking gibberish about Bitcoin in his empty closet. He believes that Bitcoin is some kind of money that sprang out of nowhere and was flawlessly constructed. As XRP investors, however, we are all aware of the creator of Bitcoin. Therefore, I do not believe that it will reach a market valuation of $500 trillion. and XRP will continue to operate independently. It has a use case and is useful. XRP is going to be the biggest surprise, regardless of where Bitcoin goes. Let's wait and see. If we're talking about market capitalization, Raoul Pal is forecasting a $100 trillion market capitalization, but it won't happen anytime soon. He says it will happen around 2032. Although market capitalization is irrelevant in the cryptocurrency field, I believe that tokenization will cause the market to reach $100 trillion, which will lead to the huge market cap estimates that people keep making. People still don't understand it. They seem to be living in the past. That was a really good argument in 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020, you know? Because people in those days were unaware that market cap multipliers even existed, let alone that XRP could reach that level with one. It was seldom discussed in those days. It was all about XRP will never pass $10 because of previous cycles and market cap. XRP will hit $1,000 sooner than most people anticipate. You know, if everything goes according to plan, I think XRP might hit $1,000 by 2027. 2026 is likely to be a bigger year than most people anticipate, in my opinion. I predict that this year will see a significant increase in institutional adoption. As I mentioned at the start of this video, I genuinely don't think we are halfway up this green candle. And I also believe that this year will be the year of utility. Somewhere down here, I believe. This, in my opinion, is only a correction to what we have already witnessed. When such a run takes place, the actual run hasn't even begun yet. When that run starts, XRP will move violently to the upside. It will move so fast that people on the sidelines will be chasing green candle after green candle. That is what we as XRP holders must still look forward to.